This property runs this community. A lot of people from this community work here. They're proud of this. This has got a lot of history here. And then when you think about the beauty with the hills, the mountains, the trees, the water.
One thing about this place is one of the words he kept saying, family. It's a place that when my family and everyone comes, they treat you like family. They treat you like you're one of their own. And it's, obviously when you look at the place, you look at the rooms, everything, it's like taking a step back in time. And I think that's an absolutely amazing place to be able to put your phone down and slow everything down. I mean, the world these days is so fast. Everything has to get done so quickly. And every time I've come here with my family at Greenbrier, it's like everything stops and it's slow motion. You actually get to enjoy life, enjoy your time with family.
Just this place feels like I'm a kid again. You get out here and you see nature, you see the trails, you see going on a hike. I grew up in Fresno. We go up to the mountains every once in a while, and that's just kind of what it feels like a little bit. Obviously, it's more forested here and whatnot, but the 58, I don't know how to explain it. Just kind of semi-blacked out, you can kind of say. It was one of those moments where the last 4 holes, I was obviously trying to win a tournament, but it started to rain, and I just kept focusing on my game. I didn't get outside of this bubble that I created with myself. I just wanted to focus on hitting the next best shot. And I think that's what really pushed me on to focusing on obviously winning the tournament, but to shoot in the 50s and then ultimately make the 40-foot on the last hole for 58. That was just the cherry on top. And what a special moment, a special place in my heart forever, and probably one of the most special moments in my entire life.
Yeah. It's Friday. Yo, it's Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man, and we are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. All right, so guys, let's reset top of the hour here. What our main focus is going into the weekend, because last night I was watching the Patriots and the Eagles in preseason football. And I'm going to probably check out some other preseason football this weekend. In fact, Alex, Rams Chargers is probably what I'm going to take a look at. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And mostly because now you've got 3 offensive linemen from the Rams, 3 starting offensive linemen that are still on the injured list. You've got your starting quarterback now in Matthew Stafford. He's on your injured list, and not that he was going to play anyway. Mm-hmm. And for the Chargers, you've got your starting quarterback. Justin Herbert still rocking a boot. And I love how everybody
out of the boot.
Oh, out of the boot. I love how everybody's like, oh, don't even worry about it. He's fine. He'll be fine when the regular season comes. Correct. How do you know? What are you guys? What are you, the team doctors? I don't know.
Bro. It's a boot, bro. Why y'all if it was a cast, we're in a different conversation. But it's a boot. That boot is for people to see publicly. When he get home, he take that boot off.
All right. Well, Chargers Rams is definitely a preseason game that I'm going to watch. So, Alex, if you could.
By the way, yes.
I want you to put up the schedule for everybody. Let's just go through the schedule real quick, and then we'll figure it all out. All right, Browner, look.
Most games are tomorrow. Most games on Saturday.
How about that, Brown? You got your Bears taking on the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, you got Joe Burrow, who you once told us was a bust, taking on Caleb Williams.
I did say that. I've recanted that. Sometimes when you speak for a living, you say some crazy things that turn out to be wrong. That was definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry about wrong stuff.
Hasn't really done anything, but I won't really get to that.
Take a look at that schedule though for this weekend. Think about if this were a regular season, the Lions and the Chiefs. How good of a game would that be?
Solid. That's solid.
Right. Jets, Panthers.
It still might be because Patrick Mahomes and the Stars are playing for a whole half.
Hey, look, could be a good, entertaining half of football. Jets, Panthers, trash. Washington versus Miami.
Jaden Daniels, I am very curious. I'm very curious.
Yeah, haven't seen him yet at all. Dan Quinn.
First game.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Dan Quinn, the coach of Washington, was on with us. This is going back a couple weeks ago when he was vacationing in Hawaii, and he was great. So I'm sort of like rooting for Washington in a sort of a weird way. I really like Dan Quinn. All right, put that back up. Let's go back to it. Seattle at Tennessee. Okay. Tampa at Jacksonville, Atlanta and Baltimore, the Giants and the Texans. All right, Alex, here come your Vikings against what used to be my team, the Browns.
Yeah, I don't care. Football's dead.
Football is dead to you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm a fantasy football player this year.
Yeah, all because J.J. McCarthy got hurt.
And everybody else that's gotten hurt, and the expectations were already low in the first place. This is a rebuilding year,
low.
and yeah, so it's not like it's not like Patrick Mahomes is out for the season. That's not what we're talking about here. But as a Viking fan, yeah, it's like a rebuild year.
Well, continuing on here, Arizona at Indianapolis, Buffalo at Pittsburgh. Although, Browner, I guess I am kind of curious about the Steelers, because I do want to see what's going to happen with their quarterback situation. Obviously, Russ still dealing with some kind of calf problem. And your former quarterback in Chicago has now turned you into somewhat of a Steeler fan. Is that right?
Absolutely. That's not going to change. I'm still rooted in, black and yellow. Let's go, Jay Fields. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is Russell Wilson's first preseason action happening tomorrow.
Oh, it is.
So,
okay.
Yeah. And he's the starter. Mike Tomlin has said he is the starter, but they will both get 4 series. Russell will get 4. Justin will get 4. And we'll make out of it what we make out of it, because I think this is the best opportunity. And Mike Tomlin said what happens in game is a little bit more important than what happens in practice. And so I'm excited to see what Russell Wilson has. I think Justin Fields is a better quarterback at this point in both their careers. But I don't know where Mike Tomlin's trying to go with this season. So from all reports, they want to run the ball. Their offensive line is set up to run the ball. And I think they want to be more cautious with the offense, and having Russell Wilson out there is probably better to start the season until they get in trouble, and they need to make something out of it. And then you may see Justin Fields. But if he doesn't beat him out, I'm not worried about it.
All right, let's keep going here.
Competition, though, I really don't. I think when you're talking about quarterback competitions, you're talking about what you saw last night. I think we're talking about in Denver and Las Vegas. Like, those are like the real quarterback competitions. I just think that no matter what Justin Fields does in the preseason, it's Russell Wilson's job.
Yes.
Because you can't start the season with Russell Wilson on the bench.
No, because chances are if Russell Wilson doesn't perform, and if Justin Fields does take over the starting job at some point during the year, my guess would be the Steelers will cut Russell Wilson as soon as they can. And the reason for that is he's barely making any money from the Steelers. He's making all of his money from the Broncos. He was a low risk but a potential high reward acquisition for the Steelers. And he's not, in my opinion, and I was around Russell Wilson plenty when he was in Seattle, when I was doing Monday Night Football games or I was doing NFL games for Westwood One. He is not the kind of personality that is going to be, in my estimation, a supportive backup quarterback. Russell Wilson is a starting quarterback, a Super Bowl champion, a 2-time Super Bowl. He's been to the Super Bowl twice, a close to being on the verge Hall of Fame guy. I just don't see him as just taking a backup role.
No, never. What I do see is if he does eventually get benched, I could see a team like Minnesota, depending on what Sam Darnold does. Like, Sam Darnold, who knows what to expect in year 7 or whatever year is he's going into. So I think there's opportunities for Russell Wilson, because I don't think personally, I do not think that there are 32 better quarterbacks than Russell Wilson in the NFL right now.
Here's the problem with, and I agree with you, but here's the problem with that. If he doesn't play in Pittsburgh, I don't think he's going to play anywhere, because all these other teams are invested in the guy that they have.
Disagree.
If he was out
No.
here,
Disagree.
a couple years younger,
Yeah.
there would be
How old is
places that would be looking into him. But again,
All right,
he's
you ready?
the most sacked quarterback over the last 3 years in the league.
All right, but I'll give you this. You ready, Browner? Hypothetically, it's week 5, and the Steelers are deciding that they're switching quarterbacks, and they're going to Justin Fields, right? And they decide to cut Russell Wilson. And the Raiders, as an example, are like, we just don't have anything going on here. Gardner Minshew's not very good. We don't think the other kid, Aiden O'Connell, is very good. An experienced quarterback like Russell Wilson, we think could walk through the door and be better than us, better than what we've got right now. I would give the Raiders a legitimate shot to want to sign a guy like Russell Wilson if he were an available free agent. Especially, by the way, everybody's going to know that his money's coming from Denver, so nobody has to put any money into the guy.
Well, one thing about, I think we'll all agree with this. I don't think if Mike Tomlin benches Russell Wilson, it's permanent. Like, there will be no flip-flop. There won't be like, all right, Russ goes in, Russ bench, let's try Justin next week, and if he stinks next week, we'll go back to Russ. I don't think that's a thing. So that's kind of why I agree with Scott. I think the moment you bench Russell Wilson, if healthy, for Justin Fields, he's gone. Like, there's no way Russell Wilson is a backup quarterback in Pittsburgh. Someone will sign him.
Every year Justin Fields has been in the NFL, he's missed games due to injury. Mm-hmm. If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers and I sign Russell Wilson, I'm keeping him to the end of the year. Do not forget, last year, more than 70 quarterbacks started games due to injury. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have an injury at the position, especially if Justin Fields is playing quarterback for you by the way that he plays the position. He will miss a game or two.
I think it's Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph will be coming in if Justin Fields gets hurt.
Russell Wilson is a far better option.
I agree with you, dude. I agree with you. I just don't see it.
All right, so so we were talking. We got caught up on the Steelers and the Bills. The Rams play the Chargers. The Cowboys play the Raiders. Then Sunday, there's only two games: Packers and Broncos, and Saints and 49ers. All right, we're going to go from this conversation into what happened last night, because is there a quarterback controversy in New England?
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Ron Cole. Right hand right back from Mike Perry. Now 3-0 in BKFC.
Could I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah, folks. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Perry on the turn. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double tap. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form. Bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Story in just 1 minute. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to my guy, Gary Cooper, Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty Services, 858-376-1299, 858-376-1299. For those of you that are watching on YouTube or on SportsGrid TV, all you have to do is use your phone and click on that QR code in the bottom left corner of the screen, and it'll take you right to Gary. If you're looking to buy a house in Southern California, sell a house in Southern California, or maybe you need some type of a home equity line of credit, don't make a move in real estate without first talking to Gary. Now, for those of you that are around the country listening on channel 159 on Sirius XM, listen, you may be thinking to yourself right now, I'm in Philly, I'm in New York, I'm in Atlanta, I'm in Miami, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama, I'm in Chicago. What can Gary do for me? Call him, 858-376-1299, 858-376-1299. He's got an entire network of people in this business all over the country, and he can help you. And by the way, even if he can't help you by connecting you with somebody, you may want to bounce a couple of things off of him. Call him, 858-376-1299. Never make a move in real estate without first talking to our guy, Gary Cooper. All right, how about that, guys?
How about that?
Alex, I must tell you that over your left shoulder in Cousin Nancy's estate, not only do I see that American flag, but I also see the show is airing on SportsGrid right over your shoulder. And I'm telling you right now, we are looking good today, man. It's
Feel
Friday,
good.
looking good, feeling good. You know what I'm saying?
Not a flag. It's one of those drapey things.
Oh, like
opening day in baseball.
Yeah, like what do they call that? Bunting. Is that what they call that?
No idea.
I think that's what it's called. Does anybody in our live YouTube chat know? I think it's called bunting.
But like the MLB logo, opening day always has the American thing like that. That's what it is.
Yeah, looks good, man. Looks good. Looks very all-American behind you. So I asked a question about is there a quarterback controversy in New England? I realize it's the preseason and I'm sort of exaggerating. But the thing is this. Jacoby Brissett was brought to New England to be their starting quarterback because they needed an established, veteran, capable starting guy. They weren't getting a Kirk Cousins frontline $50 million a year starting quarterback. They were getting a guy who's been a career backup, who can start when he's needed to, who can keep you competitive and professional looking, but you're not getting anybody who's going to Canton. Right. I mean, with Jacoby Brissett, the thing is you're going to get a professional effort. You're going to get a guy who's going to do all the work during the week. He's going to study all the film. He's going to be prepared, and he can be trusted to go out and be a professional.
God, what an incredible thing you just said about Jacoby Brissett, because that's going to get you employed in the NFL for a long time.
Long time.
Mm-hmm. Long time.
Right.
And whether if it's true or not, that's the narrative around him.
Yeah.
And that's incredible, dude.
But listen, he's not intended based on his career and based on his pay. He is not intended to be an upper echelon starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting what you pay for in New England. You're getting a guy that worked with this offensive coordinator in Cleveland, knows the system, knows the language, and people on that team can look to and go, he may not be Tom Brady, and he may not be Patrick Mahomes, and he may not be paid like Jordan Love or Tua, okay, but he's a professional guy who's going to Band-Aid us from the start of the season until we get to a point where we need to start getting our first-round draft pick some playing time. Right. But last night, New England was playing Philadelphia. Jacoby Brissett drives the Patriots down the field. I realize nobody else was watching this other than me. And he throws an interception in the end zone. I don't remember exactly. The Patriots were on like the 10-yard line, and Jacoby Brissett goes to fire one into the end zone, gets picked off and taken back the other way. They didn't take it all the way to the house, but they did get really good field position to start the next series. Philadelphia did. When Drake May came in, he looked good.
Real good.
He looked good. He made some plays. He moved outside the pocket. He dropped the ball off to last options that were coming out of the backfield. He made some really good throws. He made some throws that receivers made him look good by making some really nice catches. Drake May looked good.
Did you know?
Did I know
he was a dual threat quarterback?
I mean, I knew that his the billing of Drake May was that he's an athletic sort of a yes, he's supposed to be a guy who's supposed to be able to run and throw. He's supposed to be a poor man's Josh Allen type of a player. Yeah. Now, Browner, you're giving us a look like what? Did he not perform? I mean, Alex, put up the numbers from last night. These are just the stats for the four quarterbacks that actually all played. Here you go. Drake May yesterday, 6 for 11, 47 yards. Bailey Zappi, by the way, he may be the best guy. 3 for 4, 29 yards.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. There is a quarterback controversy, but with who?
Yeah, Browner, our guy Joe Milton, that last week we were hyping him up like he was going to Canton, Ohio after one preseason game. Nothing special. And
nothing special? No, keep that same energy, man. You got you got sacked the same amount of times as completions.
When you look at Joe Milton, you have to take into account that there are rushing yards that are also added into his total.
What was his numbers? Well, I don't know what his numbers were.
3 for 9. Oh yeah, let me incorporate that.
Let me say this, because the way the goalposts get moved is fascinating to me. I watched Drake May. I had a lot of anticipation because I'm like, oh, he's going to get more. Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to get more snaps. This is going to be good. I was not impressed. In fact, I was disappointed. Out of the backfield, these catches we're talking about, one of them had to be a spectacular
it was good
catch.
Yep, it was a great catch.
On a simple toss out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
The other two chunk plays were dump offs and screen passes.
Not true. Disagree.
Oh, turn the tape. The one pass he threw in the second half, the deep pass, it was a great pass, but it doesn't count because the ball got dropped.
Right. Receiver dropped the ball.
Right. And that happens. So you can't give him credit for a dropped ball.
Well, who's trying to give him credit for that?
Just like from a macro standpoint, I think the biggest problem with the Patriots, on top of the quarterback decisions that they have to make, is that they may be the least talented team in the NFL.
Right.
And that's skill position.
Right. And that's the problem. And so that's just it. So that's why this is just an opinion. I don't know this is a fact. You're going to start Jacoby Brissett.
You better.
If somebody's going to take the hits and if somebody's going to lead a team early, I would say you got to start Jacoby Brissett. Zappe actually has some playing time under his belt. Looked kind of good. But Drake May is clearly their future, but I don't know how good he's going to be. Stick around, everybody. We'll get back to some baseball.
This property runs this community. A lot of people from this community work here. They're proud of this. This has got a lot of history here. And then when you think about the beauty with the hills, the mountains, the trees, the water.
One thing about this place is one of the words he kept saying, family. It's a place that when my family and everyone comes, they treat you like family. They treat you like you're one of their own. And it's, obviously when you look at the place, you look at the rooms, everything, it's like taking a step back in time. And I think that's an absolutely amazing place to be able to put your phone down and slow everything down. I mean, the world these days is so fast. Everything has to get done so quickly. And every time I've come here with my family at Greenbrier, it's like everything stops and it's slow motion. You actually get to enjoy life, enjoy your time with family.
Just this place feels like I'm a kid again. You get out here and you see nature, you see the trails, you see going on a hike. I grew up in Fresno. We'd go up to the mountains every once in a while, and that's just kind of what it feels like a little bit. And obviously it's more forested here and whatnot, but the 58, I don't know how to explain it, just kind of semi-blacked out, you can kind of say. It was one of those moments where the last 4 holes, I was obviously trying to win a tournament, but it started to rain, and I just kept focusing on my game. I didn't get outside of this bubble that I created with myself. I just wanted to focus on hitting the next best shot. And I think that's what really pushed me on to focusing on obviously winning the tournament, but to shoot in the 50s and then ultimately make the 40-footer on the last hole for 58. That was just the cherry on top. And what a special moment, a special place in my heart forever, and probably one of the most special moments in my entire life.
Man, and we're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. But I was thinking, let's build a Prize Picks ticket right now. In fact, Browner, I don't know if you saw this or not, but we had this conversation yesterday about Prize Picks, and we were all thinking that as the WNBA was coming back to action last night, that the way to play it was to assume that a lot of these players would be rusty, and maybe they wouldn't score as much, but maybe they would rebound more. But the women who came back from the Olympics, Alex, you can throw this up. The women who came back from the Olympics, they had some pretty nice nights last night. I mean, take a look at some of these point totals. Brianna Stewart, 27 points. Brittany Griner, 23 points. Kalea Cooper, 29 points, or Copper rather, 29 points. Some pretty good performances last night in the WNBA.
And what I tell you about them Angel Reese rebounds?
You said that she was going to have more than 9. And what'd she have last night?
15.
What'd she have? How many?
15.
15. And how many she score? What'd she score last night, Angel
She
Reese?
finished at 26. Her number was 26 and a half. So we
Oh
got
my God. We played it less.
Yeah.
Just barely.
Yep.
All right, so I'm looking at Prize Picks today, and I'm trying to make a decision on where I'm going with this. So here's the thing. The first thing I'm going to do is this. For MMA, there's a big UFC fight tomorrow night, and they've got Alex, what's this guy's name? Israel
Adesanya.
All he needs is half of a significant strike. His more or less number on Prize Picks is 100.5 significant strikes. I'm going to take him right now, and I'm going to put him into whatever it is I decide to do, because I think I'm going to play some preseason football, which I don't know, man. Something tells me it's I don't know if it's a good idea or not.
You crazy, man. Go back to the WNBA. Stick on MLB,
the
man.
WNBA game happening tonight.
How'd that Kenny Pickett pick
didn't go well
for you? Right.
Didn't go well.
It's unpredictable. It's crazy unpredictable.
I know.
Man.
All right, so
here's the number for you. I got one for you. You tell me if I'm crazy. To go along with the whole rust versus hotness of it, Caitlin Clark's assist number tonight is 10.5.
Okay.
Now, she's been crushing it. She's had a month off. Her teammates have had a month off. And what do you need for assists? You need some makes, some buckets from your teammates. I just don't see it tonight. I think there's a lot of misses. So 10.5, for me, I go less on that for Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
See, but I like her points and rebounds more than 30. I like that because of all the people who needed some time off, it's her. So I'm expecting her to come out firing more than coming out passing. And Phoenix played last night in Chicago. Now they're going over to Indiana. So I'm second night of a back-to-back. So I'm going more than 30 points and assists for Caitlin Clark tonight.
30 points and assists. I actually like that call because I think she's also, if I'm Caitlin Clark, I'm thinking to myself, hey, I should have been on that Olympic team. I could have been on that Olympic team. I could have helped that Olympic team. Nobody wanted to get me on that Olympic team. I'm going to come out firing. So, okay, yeah. I've got Caitlin Clark. By the way, today is Friday, and you can flex on them. So when you open up the app, you're going to see you can flex on them.
Ooh, yeah.
I got another one for you tonight, if you want, in Major League Baseball. This number seems really low to me. Combined strikeouts, Matt Waldron and Cal Quantrill. The number's only 7.5. That seems very low. That's either assuming that they're going to get beat up and not make it very far or something. But I like that more. 7.5 strikeouts tonight combined.
Okay, now how do you play? Oh, pitcher combos. Okay, so let me get it one more time. So it's the Matt Waldron, Cal Quantrill more. Okay, I like that. Like that.
Those are my two picks today.
Okay, so your two picks are
Caitlin Clark less than 10.5 assists. Matt Waldron, Cal Quantrill combined more than 7.5 strikeouts.
Browner, I'm going to play your Caitlin Clark more than the 30.5 points and rebounds. Was it points and rebounds or points and assists?
It was points and assists.
Points and assists. Here it is right here. Okay, I got it right here. Okay, I'm going to play more. Okay, so here's my card for today. Matt Waldron, Cal Quantrill, 7.5 pitcher strikeouts. The Israel Adesanya, half a significant strike because I've been waiting to play that. And Caitlin Clark, more than 30 points and assists combined. And that is a $20 play to win 5 times my money. $20 is going to win $100, or at least I think it's going to win $100. So here's what I want everybody to do. Go to the Prize Picks app, download it if you haven't already. Download the Prize Picks app and use our code GREATFRIENDS, okay? They'll match your first deposit 100% up to $100. So if you put in 100, they'll put in 100. You've got 200. Now they've got a promotion going on right now where when you sign up, you make your first $5 play, you get a $50 bonus whether you win or lose. So they're giving you chances to win and make money. So let's all play together. Let's all win together, and let's all do it on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app. Use our code GREATFRIENDS, and we are going to play, and we are going to win. And I just submitted my lineup. All right. Stick around. Here's a question for you. Contemplate this. Will the Padres catch and pass the Dodgers? We'll get to that story coming up.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingstrom to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingstrom, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
If you can do it, make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Should take out the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Say afternoon, if you're cruising around in Southern California right now, shout out to my man Beto Duran, who yesterday told me that he was listening, driving around all over LA, although clowning on us, of course, because we got cut off a couple of times. You know, at the end of the Jim Lampley conversation yesterday, we kind of got cut off. So shout out to everybody who's listening, no matter where you are, Southern California, Northern California, Eastern Seaboard, or anywhere throughout the country. We're glad you guys are here tuning in on channel 159 on Sirius XM. And to everybody that's watching on YouTube, make sure you're involved in our YouTube chat. And to everybody who's watching on SportsGrid TV, it's been another great week, and we'll see everybody on Monday. But before we get there, before we get to the end of today's broadcast, I want to ask you guys, is there any chance as we look at the schedule for the weekend for the Padres, the Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers, is there any chance that by the time Monday arrives, this 2-game lead that the Dodgers are clinging on to, that perhaps the Padres or the Diamondbacks catch them by Monday?
No, by Monday, I don't see it. By Monday, I don't see that. That means the Dodgers had to have a terrible weekend.
Because it's 2.5, yeah?
That means they have to be caught, or to be caught would mean that they'd have to go at least
0-3
or worse. And someone would have to go, no, they'd have to go 0-3.
Yeah, to be caught.
Well, wait a second. The Dodgers, here's the thing. Dodgers have a 2-game lead. If the Padres were to, let's play it out like this. If the Padres were to sweep the Rockies in Colorado, and by the way, I don't think they will, because the Padres, for whatever reason, always have a very hard time with Colorado. But let's just play it out. The Padres sweep the Rockies, and the Dodgers win 1 out of 3 in St. Louis. What is the math on Monday?
I believe that's caught up.
They're even, right? Yeah. They'd be even. And the Diamondbacks, go back to the Diamondbacks for a quick second. The Diamondbacks are playing.
Oh, I have no idea if we're right.
No, I'm not sure. I'm trying to do the math while we're on the air, and you guys know my math is horrendous, right? If the Diamondbacks stay as hot as they've been, and they go down and they sweep up on Tampa Bay, and the Dodgers were to lose 2 out of 3 to St. Louis, then I think they would have caught up. But if the Dodgers win 2 out of 3 in St. Louis, and the Padres and the Diamondbacks all win 2 out of 3, we're going to start on Monday with the Dodgers still have a 2-game lead.
Tampa's kind of thrown in the towel. So, they've won 3 games since the trade deadline. So the Diamondbacks could easily keep rolling. I know it's in Tampa. Everyone's on the road. That's always a different, feel as well. I just don't see it. Not this weekend.
I think if anybody comes back on Monday with a division lead that doesn't have it now, I think it'll be the Padres. They're playing the worst team. And if you discount their horror show that has been their performance in Colorado of recent years, they're playing the weakest team of the three. They
have the best road record of any of the three.
Tampa Bay has good players. They can take 2 out of 3. The Cardinals have good players. They could sweep the Dodgers in theory, who've been so bad on the road. So if anything, if we were going to come back, I wouldn't be shocked if the Padres were in first place. I also wouldn't be surprised if the Padres were 5 games back if we came back.
Right. Could you imagine if the Dodgers go to St. Louis and sweep the Cardinals and the Padres go to Colorado and get swept by the Rockies and you got to within 2 games and the next thing you know, you're back 5 games?
Right. Well, it's like deep dive into it. If you're looking at the Dodgers first, they do have Glasnow and Kershaw pitching this weekend. They haven't announced who else. So if you look at the Diamondbacks, they have 2 of their 3 best pitchers in Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly pitching this weekend. And if you look at the Padres, they have Waldron, who's been one of their best, not their best, Dylan Cease tomorrow, and Joe Musgrove on Sunday. So as far as pitching goes, all 3 teams look to be in decent shape for the weekend on the road.
Yeah.
But Joe Musgrove and Coors scares me.
Yeah.
Matt Waldron and Coors scares me.
Yeah. Well, this is going to lead us.
Padres and Coors scares me.
No. The Padres against the Rockies should scare you. It doesn't matter where they play, Yeah. It really leads right into our poll question for today, everybody. And here it goes. Here's our question. Will the Padres catch the Dodgers and win the NL West? That is our poll question of the day. Here's what you do. You go to kaplanandcrew.com. Okay, kaplanandcrew.com. By the way, the website has gotten a whole new facelift. Compliments of Cousin Nancy. It looks bomb. If you just scroll down a little bit, there's the sided poll of the day. And the question is, will the Padres catch the Dodgers and win the NL West? Your answers are yes, they will catch them and win. No, the Dodgers will win. No, the Diamondbacks will win. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. Make sure you vote. We definitely want to hear your opinion. So you'd be doing all of us, by the way, a really big favor, which is visiting our site because, Alex, if you go back to the site, after you get beyond the sided poll of the day, then you keep scrolling down and everything is there for you for the weekend. If you want to know how to watch on SportsGrid, there it is. If you want to get into the merch shop, Joe Rigby, shout out to you. Joe Rigby sent me, or he sent it on Twitter the other day, some pictures of him wearing the MV Profar t-shirt while working the barbecue. There's all of our episodes of the show, and you can keep on scrolling down, and there's YouTube, and there's Instagram, and there is Twitter, and there's everything that is the show is on our website, kaplanandcrew.com. And then the last thing I want to tell you about is if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can put in your email address, and you can join our email list. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. And for everybody that's listening out east or anywhere in the central part of America, you guys are new to the show. We've been on the air since 2001 in Southern California from San Diego, Orange County, and LA. You're asking me, how do I get that Kaplan and Crew merch? You get it on the website, kaplanandcrew.com. How about that?
How about that?
How about that? You didn't vote. I didn't see you vote on the poll, Alex. Will the Padres catch the Dodgers?
How would you vote on the
NL
poll?
West?
As I sit here, as much stuff as we've talked about, like it's a race, I'm still programmed to think the Dodgers are going to win this thing.
Right. So am I. So
yeah.
and I'm also programmed to think that the Dodgers are going to get healthy and that the Dodgers are going to start playing even better than they've played because they've held on and they're still this good record-wise.
I wouldn't say programmed. They're more equipped to. Healthy, if you line the 3 teams up, healthy, the Dodgers are more equipped to win the division. Now, because you have to play in the fact that they have been injured, all 3 teams have been injured significantly this year. All 3 teams, with the exception of the Padres, are really kind of back on the horse. I expect
I
to win a division.
I gotta tell you something though. When you really think about it, the Dodgers are not really equipped to make a deep run. because like we keep talking about the Padres and their innings. Tyler Glasnow's never pitched this much in his career either. And then after that, what is Kershaw on any given night? What is Walker Buehler any given night? You're going to trust Paxton? You're going to trust Bobby Miller might come back?
Well,
You look at that bullpen.
Flaherty's a guy who you think you're going to trust, but he wasn't great in his first start.
Who last year was traded to a contender to pitch in the postseason, didn't even make a start. So, and you look at their bullpen is terrible. Their bullpen's not good. I think the reason we think that is because you look at that offensive power and you're like, damn.
Correct.
Damn. They can get got. You can put runs on them, but are you going to outscore them? And I think where the Diamondbacks have an advantage is they can put some runs up on you and they'll shut you down. Because that Gallen, Kelly, Rodriguez trio is no joke, man. It's no joke.
And you say prepared. I mean, look, take Arizona seriously, something I did not do a year ago and something I wasn't doing until about 2 weeks ago. Take Arizona seriously. They were in the World Series last year.
Mm-hmm.
So they know how to win and they know how to get through the postseason. I mean, the Padres beat the Dodgers in the postseason 2 years ago, and then they lost the following series against Philadelphia because in the NLCS, the Padres had already accomplished what they wanted to, which was beat the Dodgers. That was their World Series. So go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com. Vote on the poll. Will the Padres catch the Dodgers in the NL West? Your choices are yes, they'll catch them and win. No, the Dodgers will win. Or no, the Diamondbacks will win. kaplanandcrew.com. And make sure you vote on that poll. All right, coming up, it is time for our highlight of the day, man. What does Alex have cooked up? We'll find out next.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
One change in the legislature in Missouri is that this guy who's just totally against sports betting there is not going away.
This has been in progress since last fall. They got 300 and some thousand signatures. All they needed was 170, but those were all certified by local election boards. That had to be done by earlier this month. By tomorrow, the Secretary of State has to verify all those signatures.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everybody tuning in, whether you're on Sirius XM channel 159 on SportsGrid Radio, whether you're watching on SportsGrid TV, on your Roku, on your Amazon Prime, on your Samsung TV, or anywhere else. Hey, to all of our YouTube viewers that are live in our YouTube chat right now, we're glad you guys are here. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, however you're taking in the show, whenever you're taking in the show, we're glad to have everybody along. So, Grande, are you ready for a highlight of the day, man? What do you say?
I am very ready for a highlight of the day. A highlight of the day that is brought to you by Torrey Holistics, where the promo code is Kaplan. That means you'll get 20% off when you spend a minimum of $75 at Torrey Holistics, California Holistics, Oxnard Holistics, and Mammoth Holistics. How about that? And right now, at Torrey Holistics, it's the peanut butter drive. What does that mean? It means if you bring a 16-ounce plastic jar of peanut butter for Got Your Back San Diego, you will get a pre-roll for 1 penny. Nothing in the world costs 1 penny anymore. Literally nothing. But Peanut Butter Drive, drop a 16-ounce plastic jar of peanut butter and get a pre-roll for a penny.
I wonder why they do that. Why don't they? Well, I guess because they probably can't give it away for free. It just occurred to me as I asked the question, and the answer came right to me. We can't give you free weed, but we can give it to you for a penny. By the way, people around the country who are hearing our show for the first time or watching us for the first time, not just today, but I mean, like getting to know the show, they're like, oh my God, these are people from California and they advertise weed.
I mean, Jim Lampley said that yesterday.
I know. Lamps was like, I can't believe how things have changed, that you guys are actually advertising weed. Yes, we are, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Legal
right,
here.
Jim. That's right,
Legal.
Jim.
Okay, Jim.
Okay, Jim. 1 penny for a pre-roll. Yeah, we're going to do Harold Letterman. 1 penny.
God, I miss HBO. You remember when Larry Merchant was going to fight Floyd Mayweather in the ring?
Oh, yeah.
HBO
If
boxing
I were
was the best.
Right. If I were 20 years younger, I'd kick your ass.
Your ass.
Yeah.
God, that was good.
Larry Merchant
Damn,
was
I miss-
awesome. Well, Jim, 1 penny for a pre-roll.
Yeah, nothing against Mauro Ronaldo, but my God, dude, HBO
Okay,
boxing.
we're doing it. We're doing this.
What do you mean we're doing this? What's wrong with doing this?
Is this the highlight of the day, the Larry Merchant impressions?
No, it's not a Larry Merchant impression. It's a Harold Letterman impression.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Know your old guys.
Yeah,
My
come
bad.
on, dude. Figure it
Little
out. Okay,
respect.
Jim, here's the highlight of the day. Would you like to do? I'll give you guys the option.
Oh,
How about this? Noah Lyles, Tyreek Hill continued,
Mhm.
or spit on that thing.
Hawk Tua.
give me that tour. I don't
Hot
want to hit
Tua.
nothing from Lyles, bro. I don't want to hit nothing from that second place finisher. Third place, my bad. Let's see what Hawk Tua talking about.
Hawk Tua.
Social media was pissed off yesterday. New York media was pissed off yesterday because the infamous Hawk Tua, spit on that thing, girl, threw out the first pitch at the New York Mets game yesterday. That's right. If you talk about doing certain things to a certain part of the male body, you can now throw out the first pitch in the largest media market in the world. Hawk Tua, girl, don't know her name. She
And that's
spit
her
on that
first in
ball,
the video.
and she threw that thing for a first pitch.
You know what she should have done if she really had a sense of showmanship, and if her
that thing.
she would have spit on that thing. That's exactly right. She'd have thrown a spitball. So before they go, now, ladies and gentlemen, throwing out the first pitch, the Hawk Tua girl. Like they couldn't have used her real name, right? They had to have said the Hawk Tua girl, because if they would have said her name, Jane Doe, everybody'd be like, who the hell is she? Right?
Yeah.
So they had to have been like, now throwing out the first pitch, let's all give a big New York Mets welcome to the Hawk Tua girl. And then she's down there on the screen and she's like, what's up, y'all? What's up, everybody? Right? And then she takes the ball and she goes, Hawk Tua, puh, I spit on that thing. And I throw it.
So
People are-
everybody was pissed off yesterday. and
Why?
honestly, well, it's pretty ridiculous when you think about it.
Why?
Like, why?
She's become a social media superstar. What's wrong with that?
Correct.
I'm not saying that there's something wrong with it. What I'm saying is the reasoning why she's doing it is pretty wild, wouldn't you think?
Because she spit on
No.
that thing.
Right. So anyways,
You get me?
she went on the interwebs to defend herself, saying, quote, well, I'll just show it. How about that? How about I just show it? How about that?
Yeah.
Haley Welsh is her name. She says, so
Mhm.
I guess some of the baseball community wasn't too happy to see me yesterday. The main reason I went to the game was to spread awareness and donate to America's Vet Dogs, which pairs dogs with war veterans for a forever home.
You tell him, girl.
Yeah,
Joe,
boo that, you losers.
this amazing charity. I miss you already, buddy. And the website is vetdogs.org. So for all you New Yorkers that were pissed off, she was there doing a good thing, spreading
Yeah.
awareness for America's vet dogs,
Yeah.
not about spitting on things.
Right. She already spit on that thing.
The
Hawk
fact
Tua.
that people get
And
mad
yes,
at
if you're
this girl.
asking, yes, she had a press conference as well.
Beautiful.
She doesn't
Get
look
him, girl.
comfortable, no. I don't know why people are mad about this. Who cares? It's a first pitch way before the game. This isn't the World Series. This isn't a playoff game. This game isn't important. You got to do this 81 times. And the fact that they even got somebody that the audience would know in any way is a score for this to their media department.
Dude,
This is good for them.
I would love her to throw out the first pitch in San Diego.
How
Well, that'll
many
never happen.
Here's a question. Who threw out the first pitch for the Padres? The last game.
I don't know.
You can't tell you. The only way we know anybody who threw out a first pitch at the Padres game this year, because one of them is a friend of the show. No one cares about this. There's only been two important first pitches. When George Bush threw out the first pitch on 9/11, because that was epic. And every time you throw a bad one, that's it.
Well, you would know. You would know.
Yeah, you would know. You have one of the worst first pitches of all time.
Right.
Nah, bro. Nah.
Yeah,
don't do
bro.
that.
Also,
Carl Lewis got the worst pitch.
Real quick before I run out of time, a very, very, very special shout out for all those observing opening day today.
Mm-hmm.
Today is opening day of the English Premier League as Manchester United will kick off against Fulham in 10 minutes. Shout out to y'all. No, we haven't got the jerseys yet. We haven't got the jerseys yet. And when I get mine that I ordered, it's not the one that's free.
Oh,
so don't be like, where's my jersey? Where's my jersey?
Yes, this is going to happen on this show. You're going to show with a jersey magically, and we ain't got ours, huh?
Yeah, why don't we send an email? Why don't we send an email back to those people?
I'll show you a receipt. I ordered one.
Why don't we send an email back to the people that said, hey, what's your sizes? Let's get those jerseys. Yeah. And we can't even get them. And you have no idea how many great friends, listeners hit me up in a DM going, hey, can I get one of those too? And then here's me. What size do you wear? So I asked people for their sizes.
What's wrong with you?
As if I was going to get them their jersey. We haven't even got our jerseys.
Well, guess what? That's what they did to me.
All right. Stick around, everybody. Final segment. Here come your shout outs. This is Kaplan and Crew.
What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah, folks. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Perry on the target for right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form. Bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
That wants to hang with us, we'll have our uncensored portion of the show. It's on YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew, we will get uncensored. And it's probably about 30 seconds after we sign off. Then we come back and we go live on YouTube for the uncensored portion. youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew.
I just emailed the Snapdragon people. There you go.
Nice.
Where all I said is, where's my jersey?
All right, let me give you a couple of thoughts, and we'll get into some shout outs here. First things first, if tomorrow night you are planning on watching the UFC fights, I just want to encourage everybody who's local where we are in Southern California and in San Diego. I want to remind everybody about Gaslamp Tavern. Because at Gaslamp Tavern, not only can you watch the fight there, But if you mention great friends, if you mention Rick Borba, the owner, if you mention Kaplan and Crew, whatever it is, they're going to give you a 15% discount. So to all of our locals, man, to everybody who's local, if you're looking for a place to watch the fight, if you're looking for a place to get a great discount, and this is going to be the place where we're going to have our fantasy football draft on August 31st.
Can I show you something?
Yeah, go ahead. Gaslamp Town.
Here's the flyer for the event on Saturday night. Look at
Okay.
the bottom right and tell me that's not Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my God, that's a great call. Looks like a young Aaron Rodgers. Who's that fighter?
Right? Like
Yeah.
he's fresh from Cal all over again.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I have no idea
pre-beard,
who that is.
pre-40 years old.
I've totally signed off on UFC. I have no idea what's happening.
Okay, wow, that's really interesting. I mean, you're supposed to be our MMA guy and our soccer guy, and you've given up on.
I'll be your
on
soccer
UFC.
guy. I'll be your F1 guy.
Mhm.
Shoot, I'll even be your indie guy. But as far as
Did
UFC, I mean, I've lost track.
Did you trade UFC for F1? Is basically what you're telling us?
No, they're very different times. I just think that a lot of fight fans love that the UFC is basically on every single Saturday. For me, it's a lot. Just couldn't keep track. They kind of watered down the champions to me. Like the champions lose all the time now. There hasn't really been like a strong run. You know.
Okay. Well, tomorrow
I'm really
night.
out on Conor McGregor, who's more of an actor now than a fighter. So.
Well, I wouldn't call him an actor. I mean, that was a horrendous movie.
He's been in more movies than he has in fights in the last 3 years. So
Yeah, probably so. Well, he became ultra famous. Tomorrow night, if you are going to watch the UFC fights and you want to go down to the Gaslamp Tavern, mention the great friends, and you're going to save 15% compliments of Rick Borba, the owner, and he himself is a longtime great friend. All right.
That's
so
dope.
I just wanted to mention that to everybody. Other things, just want to make a couple of quick mentions. Again, remember, go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, vote on our polls, purchase our merch, put in your email and get on our email list. Everything that is related to the show is there on kaplanandcrew.com.
Were you guys surprised that Colin Kaepernick didn't accept the coaching job for the Chargers?
You know, I mean, give me a freaking break. I mean,
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked, I tell you.
You got any Jim Harbaugh explaining how there's not going to be any Kaepernick?
Yes.
Bringing him in as a player?
No, it's like I love Colin, but just because I say that to Jared Bell, I love Colin and always will. I mean that gets conflated into that he might play here or might coach here. That's But I love Colin, but he's not going to be on the coaching staff is set for this year, and he's not going to be playing on the roster either.
Yeah, if I were the Rams, I'd sign Colin Kaepernick right now.
Can we just stop talking
Just knowing
about this guy from an NFL football aspect? He has chosen to do something else. Let him go do whatever that is.
Well, Harbaugh brought it up, dude. Harbaugh's the one who brought it up by telling everybody he offered him a job. I mean, it's not like we're out here consumed by it. We don't care.
Yeah. Hey guys, let's stop talking about Michigan. Ooh, you know what could really take everybody's attention away? How about Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, really. All right, let's do this. Let's give some shout outs. Let's see what's going on. I see a guy, Dave Dickens, tells everybody that he's watching from Wisconsin right now, from Wausau, Wisconsin. What's up, Dave? Shout out to you, my brother. Glad you guys are watching. Glad
Shout
you're
out to
watching.
Dave. You already know I don't mess with Wisconsin, though.
I know. We know. You think everybody in Wisconsin's fat and ugly.
Yep.
Tony Moe says that he's playing the Ponies at Del Mar tomorrow. Tony, are you playing them down at Rick Borba's place? Are you playing them at Paddock on 5th? Yeah. Remember, you stop by Paddock on 5th, he'll give you that $2 voucher. Rick's in the live YouTube chat right now, too. I see him there. What's up, Rick? Yeah, man. Andre Prado, Man U, let's go. Yeah, I was at that Man U game at Snapdragon Stadium. I don't really remember watching any of it, but,
Me neither.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it.
No, I was right in front of the net. I saw a bunch of goals. It was kind
Did they even score?
It was like 3-2, something like that. 4-2.
Is that good? Is that a lot?
Let's see. Hey, how about this? Joe Rigby is asking, who's heading down to the tavern on the 31st? We're all planning on coming. I mean, other than Grande, even though it's south of the 8.
Well, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas. So
right.
kinda
Louis, my man Louis. Louis is, where did he say he was? I missed it. Oh, he's in Julian. Boy, Louis got the life. He got the life, man. Hey, listen, everybody.
Julian, get a Dutch apple pie, Louis.
Right. Great week. We love you guys. We're going uncensored. We'll see you guys on Monday. Peace out, everybody.